Great job. Thank you, Paul. So, for those of you who know, Paul and I have known each other for over 20 years. And one of the things that I love about our industry, and one of the things that I think is so important about our industry, is that things are constantly changing. 20 years ago, Paul and I were competitors. Paul was at Microsoft, I was at Oracle. Today we're partners. And that's very much the nature of our industry. It's a transient industry. Technology itself is transient. It has an impermanent nature, but it's the relationships that endure. And there's a permanence in the relationships where you could compete one day, partner the next. In our own company, we talk about how you can work for somebody one day, and they could be working for you the next day, and you could be partnered the following day. And that is the real power, and one of the things that I love about our industry is the nature of the relationships. So thank you, Paul. It's great to partner with you. More fun than competing. Actually, competing was also very fun. Okay. What is our mission? Our mission at Salesforce.com is we are a cloud computing driver, catalyst, and evangelist. We have been doing that over the last decade. In case you've missed any of our presentations or haven't heard about Salesforce.com, our job is to bring upon the end of software. We believe there's a fundamental and critical and absolute shift that is occurring right now in our industry. And it is even bigger than the one that occurred when we started Salesforce.com. You see, in about every 10 years or so, there's this huge dramatic shift in the industry. Paul and I know that because we were kind of responsible for helping the world move from mini computers and mainframe computers into client-server computing. That was one huge shift. And then another huge shift was all about the desktop internet computing and kind of what we call Cloud One, the first version of cloud computing. But we believe in cloud, and Paul addressed this, that there's a second huge wave of application development and deployment about to happen. A new generation of cloud computing that's based on new types of devices and new kinds of application frameworks that require higher productivity and a greater ease of use for developers than ever before. And we call that mobile internet computing. And we think that we are all about to embark on this exciting new category, and this is where VMforce is really going to be able to hit its stride. You don't have to look any farther than social networking, which last year started to surpass email in the number of users. How many people here have a social networking account on Facebook or Twitter? Looking around the room, you can see the amount of action that's happened on social networking is amazing. And that shift in the way that people are using the internet itself also can be seen in changes in broad internet usage. Hot new applications like Facebook now with 400 million users and a company that says that they are at their highest growth rate ever. That is awesome. YouTube and video, new types of data types happening on the internet, and fundamental search. New ways of what people are doing on the internet. Also coupled with a critical change in our industry by not just what they're doing on the internet, but the way they are getting the information is changing. It's moving to smartphones. It's moving to next generation PCs. How many people here in the audience have with them a mobile device that can run apps? Raise your hand. Look around the room. Pretty incredible. This really to us means one thing, that we are moving from Cloud One, made famous by companies like Amazon and Google and eBay, in the simple applications that were point and click, managed and upgraded and updated centrally, and then provided to consumers all over the world, to Cloud 2. A new generation of application that is about new types of data and a new type of interaction between users known as social. Well, this is a catalyst like we've never seen for application development deployment, a catalyst for change inside the enterprise itself. In 1999, when I started Salesforce.com, I asked myself a simple question. Why is it that all enterprise software is not like Amazon? Why wasn't it that ease of use? But today at Salesforce.com, we ask a different question. We ask a simple question. Why isn't all enterprise software like Facebook? It is the compelling app today on the net. The paradigm has shifted again. We have to deliver a next generation of code. That's why we believe there is an imperative for developers all over the world to start building this next generation of application. You know, when we started our company in 2000, it was about Amazon.com. It was about the tab-based interface, which was actually a breakthrough at that point. It was about pulling information. It was about clicking. It was about the desktop. It was about having a fixed location. And that location was not known, and it was primarily about a Windows or a Macintosh. But today, the world has changed. We look at things like Facebook. We look at feeds. We look at profiles. We look at push, not pull. We look at touching, not clicking. We're looking at smartphones and tablets and mobile. And we look at our location being known or aware. And we're working in new types of technology like Cocoa and HTML5 with next generations of user interfaces. It's a new type of application. It's a new internet. And it's a fundamental, simple point that in our industry, people are always overestimating what you can do in a year and underestimating what you can do in a decade. When I did this slide, to make that point, I asked my marketing team to put George Bush on the left and President Obama on the right to really show the change that can happen in a decade. Unfortunately, I have very little power in my own company, and I was voted off the island. And you can see I did not get George Bush on the left, and I only got one hand on the right. So, the point is simple. Things change. Things move forward. And the way that we've moved our own technology forward at Salesforce is with a whole new architecture, a whole new capability to enable this capability. Built on our multi-tenant shared kernel, built on a high-level cloud infrastructure, offering the reliability, availability, security that our customers demand, built on an application development framework known as Force.com that lets you build these next generation of apps, and with our new Chatter social platform that lets developers build applications for the enterprise that have the same features and functions as Facebook, but deeply integrated with enterprise software, security, and applications. And that's what we've been working on at Salesforce, delivering our Service Cloud, our Sales Cloud, and our Collaboration Cloud and platform, and our Force.com custom cloud capability. We have a vision, like many of you here, that this next generation of applications is ready to come forward. And when we see a huge new device come forward and have a huge success, like the iPad over the last few weeks, how many people here own an iPad? Raise your hands. Pretty incredible. That we know that developers need to start changing how they're building code, and we want to build technology that enables them to be more successful. That's why we've been working on Force.com, which gives productivity levels of 5 times the speed at half the cost. And while major customers around the world have delivered huge applications for their enterprise using this new, exciting capability. These Cloud 2 apps are expected in every app by every user. No longer are you, as an application developer, able to build an app and not deliver the feeds, the touch, the tablet capability, the push, the location awareness, the mobility. You need to deliver Cloud 2. We recognize that at Salesforce. But the question is, how can today's Java developers build the next generation of these apps in the cloud? Paul and I recognize together, and Paul mentioned this, that enterprises build apps in Java. It's the #1 development language in the enterprise. It has over 6 million developers who know Java. It has transformed our industry, and it has brought the enterprise into the internet. But enterprise Java developers don't have a clear path to the cloud. Yes, they've got a great language. Yes, they've got the scalability. Yes, they've got the availability. But can they deliver these next generation Cloud 2 apps? Are they enabled and empowered and energized and motivated and excited to deliver the next generation of Cloud 2? Or are they blocked? Is there a gap between where Java is and where that cloud is and where the cloud computing is going? That's why Paul and I have been having these discussions over the past year. because we believe that this gap must be filled, that it's an imperative, as important as Facebook itself, so that we can deliver those Java developers to the cloud. And that's why VMware and Salesforce.com are coming together, because we believe strongly that it is time to deliver the next generation of application development and deployment capabilities. No other two companies can deliver as complete a solution for application developers in the development of these next generation applications than Salesforce.com and VMware. It's a natural path. It's a natural fit, and it's a natural partnership. If you look at VMware, the power is in many, many aspects of their technology. It's in the Java framework, as Paul mentioned, the tremendous power of SpringSource. It's millions of developers who know and use SpringSource and rely on it as the trusted Java development environment, the best Java development environment in the world today. They're seeing greater levels of productivity and success in their own app development with SpringSource than any other technology. Amazing achievement. Spectacular and brilliant acquisition, I would say, by Paul, because he recognized that is a critical component for the future. Coupled with vSphere virtualization, of course, the very founding of VMware, the initial code written and designed by the founders of VMware have turned into vSphere virtualization, which dominates the market with the best virtualization technology that enterprises rely on every day. The most important and most successful enterprises in the world use vSphere virtualization and VMware. They rely on it to move their infrastructure forward, to evolve it to the next generation of cloud computing and the private cloud. And it's coupled now, as Paul mentioned, with vCloud technology, which gives the provisioning, configuration, and management that these enterprises need to deliver their next generation cloud computing environments. Who else could build this but VMware? Who else is prepared to deliver the virtualization capability and the Java environment besides Paul? I don't know. There is no one else who has the vision and delivered it over the last decade than this company. And when you take this technology and you couple it with what we've been working on for the last decade, Force.com, with our infrastructure, with our development platform, Force.com, with our chatter collaboration services, and our killer apps, Service Cloud 2 and Sales Cloud 2, our collaboration cloud, and our fundamental Force.com application development technology, the two together give you a punch that changed the industry. The result is VMforce, the trusted cloud for enterprise Java developers. The trusted cloud for enterprise Java developers is VMforce because it brings together the best of VMware and the best of Salesforce.com. It is the best of both worlds. When you look at the fundamental architecture of VMforce, you will see how Force.com is fundamentally extended with VMware's technology. And now Java runs on Force.com. That is really powerful. And Java runs in the cloud. And not just in the cloud, but at the enterprise level, with the security, the reliability, the availability, the scalability that developers need to be successful. This is a transformational point. And we believe that everyone will love VMforce. Force.com developers are going to love VMforce because they can now use Java for the first time. Force.com developers can incorporate Java into their apps. They can extend Force.com fully with Java. And Java developers will love VMforce because it means they're going to be able to easily write and deploy enterprise-quality apps into the cloud 5 times faster and at half the cost of traditional environments. And CIOs will love it because it's trusted by 2 of the industry leaders. It's open and it is complete. This is the vision: to take these 6 million Java developers, and transform them through VMforce to deliver the next generation of Cloud 2 apps, where we all need to get to so that we can all build the next generation of capabilities. And now, please welcome to the stage to show us this great new capability, Rod Johnson, the General Manager of the SpringSource Division of VMware and my co-founder of Salesforce, Parker Harris. Rod?
Thank you, Mark.
Welcome. Parker?
Thank you, Mark.
Great job.